And welcome back to the channel. On this video I want to do a 4-month review on the Lyric Graffiti X. That's the bike you're seeing right there in front of you. And so I've had the bike, as I mentioned, for 4 months, so I thought this is a good time now. I've ridden it long enough to be able to give you my opinion at least 4 months into it on the bike. And so let's go over some of the things I like about the bike, and then we'll go over a few things that I don't like. I can tell you the likes are going to outweigh the do not likes or the cons. The pros are going to outweigh the cons by quite a bit. But anyway, so first thing I like is I like the look of the bike. The bike looks outstanding. I don't know who wouldn't like the look of the bike unless you're not into this style of bike. Yeah, I get a lot of people telling me it looks like a motorcycle. It looks like a motorcycle, but it's an electric bike. I purchased it as an electric bike, and that's what it is. It has pedals down here. And no, I don't really use the pedals on this bike. I have before for a video to show that you can do it, but this bike was not purchased for pedaling, but you can do it. So let's go over some of the things. First of all, unlike many people, I haven't had an issue with the handlebars. I know there's quite a few out there that say they don't like the handlebars. You're sitting too far forward. I haven't had that problem yet, but I will say I have not ridden the bike long enough, like distance-wise, yet to really get a good feel for that. That and the range of the bike. The battery range, I do not know yet. I'm assuming I'm going to get 40 to 50 miles. It's a 40 amp hour battery right there, 60 volt. I'll just quickly go over what the bike is first, and before I go to my pros then. The motor is a 3,000 watt motor right down here, 60 volt. And the motor will peak at just over 8,000 watts, but they do have a limiter on here, an on-road, off-road switch right there. And if you push it in, it will be on-road mode, which is 750 watt, class 2. So you'll get about 20 miles per hour. If you put it to pedal assist level 9, it'll go a little bit over 20 miles per hour. It's just slow to take off though. You really lose a lot on your takeoff speed. But yeah, so there is that. And the bike has 4-piston Magura disc brakes, 203 millimeter rotors. It has a full suspension, which I have not had a problem with. So let's go over some of the things I like. I like the size of the battery. I like that it's a 40 amp hour battery, nice big battery, so you're not going to run out of juice. Like I say, though, I have not done a range test, but I'm expecting to get minimum 40 miles of range to 50, and that's riding it, I would say, around my area here, I ride about 20 miles per hour because the speed limit is 20 to 25, and that's good enough for me anyway. But there may be times that I might want to ride more. If I'm away traveling, say to Portland or something, I might go 25 to 35 miles an hour. So at that speed, 25 to 35 miles per hour, I'm expecting or hoping to get 40, minimum 40, and maybe closer to 50 miles. That would be outstanding in my opinion. I usually judge at 1 amp hour per mile if you're riding in that, say, 30 mile per hour range average. Okay, so let's see. I like the tires. I like the wheels. I like the fat tires. These are measured at a little more than 4-inch tires by 20 inch, or and they're motorcycle tires. So I do like that. Really sturdy. It makes the bike run smooth, in my opinion. I like it. It's got outstanding lights, particularly the headlight. You can never go wrong with that headlight. All of the Lyric Cycles bikes have that headlight, 7-inch, 6,000 lumen, DOT approved. As I mentioned before, I like the looks. It has a good, comfortable seat. I love the full throttle. I haven't had one of those. All the bikes I've had in the past are either half throttle twist or they have the thumb throttle. So it's nice to have a full throttle, much like a standard motorcycle would have. It does have full lights. It does have a loud horn, which I really like. The headlight, as I mentioned, is excellent. It has a high-low beam. The mirror is the only thing I put on here that's not comes stock with the bike. It does have foot pegs. I have not ridden yet a passenger, but I will be shortly when we get a little bit better weather. I will definitely have a passenger on the back to test that. And I like the speed the bike has. It has good speed. It can get up to, I've had it up to 79 kilometers per hour, which is about 50 miles per hour. And that was on my first day riding it. I will leave a link in the description to let you look at my first day unboxing and the first ride, and you'll get a sense of what I thought on my first ride. And you'll hear more about the bike, a more fuller review on the bike. This particular video, I wanted to talk more about my experiences so far. So I'm going to tell you the things that are cons, in my opinion. To me, they may not bother other people, but I wish they were different for myself. So one of them is the display. I like the display. It's all good. I'll turn the bike on and show you, but I wish that it was larger. See, there's the display right there. I still have the cover on it, so if it looks a little bit kind of fuzzy a bit, it's because I still have the original film over top of it, and I haven't peeled it off yet. This kind of protects it, so I'm good. I can see the numbers good, so I just leave it like that. But yeah, I wish it was wider. I wish it was like twice as wide as what it is, but that could be just me. But I do like a big LCD display. Another con is the fenders. I'm not a big fan of the fenders, and I tried to put the longer end here, but it doesn't matter which way you put them. I just don't like it. They don't cover enough of the wheel. I do like that that's metal. I'm a fan of the metal fenders. The back fender is god-awful, in my opinion. I don't like it at all. It's kind of flimsy, for one, but that's not the full reason why I don't like it. It just doesn't cover enough of the wheel, and you get a lot of crap coming up on you from the back wheel, a lot. And so that part I don't like, and especially in this area where I am, you get a lot of rain and wet, mud, and all that's going to kick up on you. So I don't like that. The seat, I like the seat a lot. It's nice and cushy and soft, but I'd like it to be a little bit wider. It's kind of narrow. I don't know. I don't have the biggest hands in the world, but you can see that it doesn't even, like, it's not that big. And I have small fingers and small hands. So I don't know how wide this is. I should have measured it, but I think it's 6 inches. But it looks to me like it could be a little bit wider. But again, that could be me. I'm not the biggest guy in the world, and here I am saying the seat could be a bit wider. Just a little bit for comfort, I think, if you're going on a longer distance ride, and for your passenger as well. Besides that, there's not too much I don't like about it. Now let's get on and ride a bit, and I want to talk about the power of the bike and speak about that. So let's hop on here. And so it has the on-road and off-road, as I mentioned. And even if you have it in off-road, which is where you're going to get all your power, it's not good on hills. If you are at the bottom of a hill at a standstill and try to go up a steeper hill, it just won't, it's not good. So the power on the high end is good, speed, but the low end, it's not there. And that's one thing I wish that was better on the bike. That's probably the biggest strike, I would say, against the bike, in my opinion. But if you are living in an area where it's mostly flat, you don't have to worry about that. Or if you got hills that are kind of more gradual, once the bike gets going, if it has a little bit of a head start on a hill, then it's fine. It's just that initial takeoff. There's not much there. And if you are riding in on-road mode, you're really going to have not much there. So I'm going to give you a little example here. Okay, so and turn this way. This is a very, very slight hill, not much, but a little bit. But I'm going to go in on-road mode right here. I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to give it the throttle. And here we go. That's full throttle, and you can see guy right on my tail. That's how slow it was. It's slow to take off. Right now, I'm gonna, when this car goes by, I'm gonna show you. That was a woman, not a guy. Okay, I'll get it straight. Okay, so now I'm gonna stop and I'm going to put it for off-road. Okay, so here we go. A little faster, see, but it's still, but once it gets going, it goes. It just takes probably, I'd say upwards of probably 10 seconds, and then away she goes. But that's my big complaint. If I had one complaint for this bike, that's it. The other things are just small things. Less, you know, like if I had to, if I could have one thing corrected on the bike, it would definitely be the low end power. I'd sacrifice some of the speed, I think, a little bit, and have more low end power. Like I'd rather have this bike probably going top speed 40. And I don't want to go 40 necessarily miles per hour, but I like a bike that can go a steady 30, say, or 35 if you need it, and not have to have it pinned full throttle, you know, to get that speed. I want to give a little bit, I don't want to make the bike work that hard. So that's why I like the more speed. I'm not going to use it, but I don't want to have the bike having to work full speed to get that. So that's why I want to have the speed there, even though I don't use it. If I do use it for short spurts or that, I don't want to have to, you know, overwork the bike. It's not good for the bike to have it running full throttle all the time. I can tell you that for sure. So, but other than that, the other stuff that I pointed out, like the fenders and the seat and a little bit. Now the seat, actually, if you're going to pedal, I think you do want it narrower, because you want to be able to pedal without having your legs too far apart. But I think for me, since I don't pedal this bike, I think a little bit wider seat, maybe another inch or so, maybe an inch on each side would be good. But I mean, that's not, I'd rather have the better fenders, honestly, than the seat. The seat would be one of my lowest. The other thing I wanted to mention is the lights. It has good lights on here, the headlight and all, but I wish the signal lights, turn signals, were larger, so they can be seen even more. They're nice and bright, but they're just not that big. And I wish they were a little bit bigger around, so they can be seen even more. But I really like this bike. I mean, I wish there was more places that people could actually test a bike before they buy it. And you could go somewhere where you could test like 10 or 12 bikes, you know, and all being kind of similar. So you get a real feel for which one truly is the best. Because it's kind of hard online when you rely on online to really get a feel for a bike. You know, just all the bikes I purchased are just online. I had, you know, no test riding or anything, so you're basically, you know, you're at the mercy of the bike company, and hopefully you like the bike. You go by the specs and trying to get as much information as you can, and whoever's done reviews on the bike, and see what they think, and then kind of get an overall feel and go from there. And hope you got yourself a good bike. And I definitely got a good bike here, though. The pros definitely outweigh the cons. Smooth. This bike is smooth. It's well planted. It's 120 pounds, but it's a good 120 pounds. It's not like, it doesn't feel big and bulky and heavy or anything like that. It's I think the heavier bike gives you actually gives you a smoother ride. And it turns really sharp too, which is impressive too, compared to other bikes that I've had. So there it is. Let me hop off and show you one more time. The Lyric Graffiti X. 4 months later, would I buy it again? Yes, I would buy it again, especially for the price I paid. It's now $45.99. So you might shop around a bit and see what else is out there, but there's not a lot out there that are going to be comparables. I know some people are going to say, oh, the GOAT power bike or this one or that one. Sure, go ahead and try it. I wish you could try them all side by side, like I say, and see which one you'd get a true, you know, a true final, you know, outcome as to which one you like, because otherwise you just kind of have to just pick and choose and go by what specs it has on it. Does it please you and the look of the bike and all that? Anyway, there it is, the Lyric Graffiti X. And I do have a link, a discount code and a link in the description if you want to go and check it out. You will get $200 off, by the way, if you use my code Oregon eBiker Mark 2025. So it will take $200 off the price. So there it is, the Lyric Graffiti X. And that's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. Just hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, just hit that notification bell. And if you want to comment on this video or any others, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Once again, thank you for joining me on this video. And until next time, be safe out there and keep your wheels on the road. See you later.